Who's better all time, Stephen Curry or Kevin Durant? Is Dr. J, Julius Irving, a top 10 player of all time? And who was better this year, Chris Paul or James Harden? Let's get it.
Every day, all over the world, millions of people are playing, talking, or debating sports. What if there was a way we could turn the debate into a sport? A competition where two contestants battle, but only one leaves a winner. Ladies and gentlemen, From the Sideline podcast presents The Fade Room.
What's up, everybody? I'm your host, GK, representing From the Sideline. We got a great battle for you tonight. We're doing basketball. First, I'm going to introduce the judges. All the way from the West Coast, we got my man with the IQ. It's Melvin. What's up, Melvin? Talk to him.
What's going on? It's the Simon Cowell Sports Debate. Let's get it.
Hey, yo. And then we got the man that makes it all happen, the host of From the Sideline podcast. He's the one that rescues everybody in natural disasters. It's
burning buildings, all of that, man. Listen, B4B, dub, man. Have a good fight, man. I'm back here excited as a judge. I get to judge a great one today. But yeah, good luck, fellas. Go get it. Go get it.
Amazing. And tonight I'm gonna be the third judge too. Shout out chat. What's up, Dream Hoops and Mr. NBA? All right. We're gonna go over the rules real quick and then I'll introduce the contestants.
The rules of the Fade Room. You may only speak when it's your possession. Each possession has a 60-second shot clock. Each round consists of 8 minutes plus 60-second closing statements. Each player gets one chance to instantly steal back possession by saying cookies. Each player gets one chance to go no huddle for a 10-second extension by saying Omaha. Judges score every round. The winner will be announced at the end of the show.
Awesome. So for our first contestant, he's representing the Boone Squad. He's a TikTok extraordinaire. It's Basketball for Brains. What's up, Basketball for Brains? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, guys. This is a cool setup. Appreciate you having me on. It'll be a fun debate.
Let's go. All right. And his competitor for the night, he's representing the Players' Choice podcast and Gridiron. Repping Jersey, it's my boy Dub. What up, Dub?
What's good?
All right. Without further ado, we're gonna get into it. We flipped a coin and Dub won, and he elected to go second. So Basketball for Brains, you're gonna open on the first topic, and the question is, who is better all time, Kevin Durant or Stephen Curry? And your time starts now.
Excellent. Well, I got Steph Curry in this one, and let's get the low-hanging fruit out of the way. It has nothing to do with this season. I don't care that Kevin Durant is coming off a sweep. Doesn't help his argument much. I don't care that Steph Curry is on the verge of another championship. Well, maybe I do care about that a little bit. But the thing about Steph Curry over Kevin Durant, it's silly to me to think that Kevin Durant could hold the status as being greater than Curry all time. Curry won before Kevin Durant. Curry won with Kevin Durant. And like I just said, he's on the verge of winning after Kevin Durant. Like, that's astounding. And what we must acknowledge in this conversation is that these guys are neck and neck. Curry and KD are both that great. They've both been playing second fiddle to LeBron during the entirety of their careers. I'm not saying Kevin Durant has his faults, but the thing that Steph Curry has, KD doesn't.
One time. Go ahead, Dub.
I like that you said it's neck and neck, because it definitely is. Like, it's like 1 or 2 spots away from each other. But the main differentiator for me is that when we look at Stephen Curry and Kevin Durant, they played around the same time of each other. And there's not been a lot of years when Stephen Curry was a better player than KD. You got 2016 where it was debatable, but for me, I always had KD. Last year, debatable, but a lot of people had KD. So when we sit here and dial back and look back at their careers, bro, KD, as for the majority of their careers, has been better than Stephen Curry. I don't think we have to change history and be like, oh, just because he won a ring, oh, then he was automatically better than Kevin Durant. No, that doesn't make any sense to me. When we go back and look at year by year, majority of the time, KD was always better than Stephen Curry, and it's always been like that. I'm not going to try to change history just for what? Just because of the ring argument?
4,
I'm not doing that.
3, 2, time. Go ahead, B4B.
we can go with the hardware argument too. Two MVPs compared to the one MVP. But you said 2016, KD deserved that. That's absurdity. That's the 73 win Warriors. That's the the unanimous MVP Curry. So I'm not sure which year you're speaking of. And 2015 was definitely Curry's year too.
What's the word can I use? What's the word
Cookies.
that I use? Cookies. I said 2016. I said 2016. If you want to say Steph, I'll never go against that. I'll never go against that. I said maybe, but me personally, I had KD. But I'm not going to argue against you having Steph over KD that
The
year.
unanimous MVP year, you're going KD?
For me personally, yes. But if you want to
Okay.
say Steph, I won't argue against that.
I can't. I mean, if that's what you want to believe, that's what you want to believe. Last year, Curry was one of the finalists for MVP. Kevin Durant was not. So I feel like you're just throwing out years where you personally feel Kevin Durant. This is where we got to acknowledge it's neck and neck. And Curry has definitely held the mantle as better player than Kevin Durant. Even when they played together that first season in 2017, you know who led that team in points? Steph Curry did. You know who led that team in assists? Well, actually, Draymond Green did, but Steph Curry was number 2, and Kevin Durant was not in the running. So Curry was better at scoring, better at assist making. He was better at assist making in the playoffs, and the scoring was really close. So it's a truly neck and neck battle. Even though Kevin Durant got the Finals MVP in 2017, whatever, they were neck and neck.
10 seconds.
Superstars in their prime. So, and we know Curry 2015 deserved the Finals MVP. Why we're on that topic.
2, 1. Go ahead, Dub.
So you said 2017, KD had 26.6. Stephen Curry had 26.4. So that was wrong. 2018.
We're halfway through the round.
Okay. 2018, I think Steph definitely led them in points. But we'll dial back into the playoff series that we had. More times than not, KD was the leading scorer, and KD was the main reason why they was winning that series. Again, against the Houston Rockets,
Cookies.
KD and what?
Hey, stolen.
Okay, Curry was the main reason that Kevin Durant could play that the way he could. Okay, Kevin Durant stepped into the role in that situation, joined the elite team that was already the juggernaut Warriors. I'm not going to give Kevin Durant for playing really good basketball on a really good team. The reason the Warriors are the Warriors is because of Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant benefited from that situation. And I don't know what you were correcting me on with the points. In 2017, Curry, 25.3 points per game. Kevin Durant, 25.1. Curry scored more points. Curry gave out more assists. Curry led in PER. Curry led in box plus minus. It was not the Kevin Durant show. He contributed in his own right, but Steph Curry was on equal footing, if not holding more ground, because the system that the Warriors is all about Steph Curry.
Go ahead, Dub.
Yeah, I don't know what you're looking at either, bro. I'm looking at it right now. It's 2017. I'm guessing it's 2017 to 2018. It's 26.4 and KD's 26.4.
When you talk about seasons, Dub, the 2017 is for 2016-17. For when I say 2018, that would be that season, 2017, and they're equal amount of points anyway.
Yeah, I don't care about the numbers anyway. When we sit here and Kevin Durant and what he did, Kevin Durant's a great player in general. To sit here and try to diminish this guy for his career and saying, oh, he needed to be able to play on a higher level is so disrespectful. Maybe you could say he needed them to win, yes, but you could say the same thing for the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors needed Kevin Durant in order to beat LeBron James, because a lot of the narrative around the league was, oh, if they run it back against the Cleveland Cavaliers versus a LeBron James, that the Warriors wasn't going to come out on top. So KD definitely proved that they needed him the same way that Kevin Durant needed the Golden State Warriors. Steph was the engine that made that team run. I will never dispute that. But the best player on that team, and KD showed why he was the best player on that team, mainly in the postseason and even in the regular season. Like you said, it was neck and neck. Maybe Steph edged it out slightly, but
10 seconds.
Defensively, KD was very defensively sound for the Golden State Warriors. He took a tremendous step up on the Golden State Warriors, and he was also part of the reason why that defense was good.
That's it.
Just like the Dynasty Lakers, if you remove either one of those superstars, take Kobe or Shaq off the Lakers team, they're not winning that three-peat run that they have. You take either Curry or Durant off the team, they're not winning in 17 or 18. The difference is Steph Curry already proved, and this is the big thing, you can build a championship team around him. He delivered that in 2015. Done, seal, check it, send it. Kevin Durant has never done that. He needed to join an already established.
No, you already used yours. But
I
only
can't
one
use
per
it
round.
again.
He
Okay.
already joined an established championship team, the 73 win Warriors, who he lost 3-1 to the guys that we're talking about.
10
Kevin
seconds.
Durant lost to Steph Curry and then joined him. If anybody needed anybody, it was Durant needing the Warriors.
Time.
Again,
10 seconds in the round.
again, you're proving my point. The only reason you're separating the two, and the only reason is the ring.
It's rounds
the
over.
fact-
Rounds over.
Oh, what the fuck?
But you get
Wow.
it. All right, Dub. You get to go first for closing arguments, and you get a full 60 seconds uninterrupted. So this is your last licks right here. Dub, your 60 seconds starts now.
Nah, again, like he's just proving my point. The point is, and whenever we have these talks, it all goes back to, oh, he won before Kevin Durant. I'm not going to sit here and say just because of that, when the team was actually phenomenal. Team with Andrea Iguodala, Sean Livingston, Harrison Barnes was playing well, and then LeBron James losing two of his best guys. I'm not going to sit here and put him on this pedestal to put him above KD just because of one ring and one ring solely. So again, all the points that you're making, you're proving my point in saying that that's the main reason why you guys are putting Stephen Curry above Kevin Durant. So thank you for that.
All right, nice.
For you to view it that way, that's just your perception of it. I stick with that point. And as we're talking about it, they are neck and neck. So what separates these guys? And the separation is Curry's a better winner than Durant. And I'm glad you brought up Curry's teammates, because would you consider Russell Westbrook better than Klay Thompson, his second punch? I would. Would you consider James Harden or Kyrie Irving better than Klay Thompson? I would. Kevin Durant has spent his career surrounded by elite talent. I think it's not a coincidence that the one time he experienced elite success was at the side of Steph Curry.
Wow. All right. That round was awesome. Okay. We're going to throw a poll up in the chat, and chat, make sure you guys vote. Who do you think had a better performance for which player being better all time, KD or Curry? And then we're going to go right into the second round. That was awesome, guys. Yeah, no. So 1 cookies per round, 1 Omaha per round. But yeah, that was great. All right. So moving on to the second topic. This is something Basketball for Brains has on his TikTok. Make sure you guys go check it out. Is Dr. J, Julius Erving, a top 10 NBA player of all time? And yeah, Dub's going to get to go first on this one. So 1 second. All right. So Dub, your time starts now.
No offense. Like, this is no disrespect to Dr. J, but I think when we're talking about greatest players of all times, there's there's a lot of people. And you got Magic, you got Bird, you got Hakeem, Kareem, Shaq, KD, Steph, LeBron, and I'm just naming heads just off the top of my head, not even looking too deep into it. There's a lot of guys in that position in that top 10 caliber where it's like, all right, Dr. J, what you did was phenomenal. But when I compare you to a lot of these other guys in the league in history, it's like, Jay, I'm sorry, like, you're just not there yet. So, I mean, it is what it is for me. I ain't got much else to say to that, but hey, I mean, it is what it is.
There's generally 13 guys that are accepted to be in the top 10. Like, there's the 13 specific guys. I don't want to waste my time naming them off. Dr. J should be the 14th. When you're talking about like the guys that he's next to, he's a 3-time champion, just like Larry Bird and Steph Curry. That's more rings than Wilt, Kevin Durant, and Hakeem. He's a 2-time finals MVP. Kareem, Kobe, Hakeem, Kevin Durant, same footing as them. These are all guys top 10 worthy. 4-time MVP. Only Kareem, Michael Jordan, and Bill Russell have more MVPs than Dr. J. Wilt and LeBron also have 4. Elite company across the board. 16 times an All-Star. That's good for number 4 all time. Kareem, Kobe, and LeBron. Now, I don't want to sit here and read notes and read his stats. I just
10
want to make
seconds.
sure that we include Dr. J's entire professional career. He is nothing but next to the elite of the elite status.
Nice. Go ahead, Dub.
When we have these greatest of all time debates, it's always a mix of everything. It's always a mix of what you've done in a career and also the talent that you possess. And I'm sorry, Dr. J and what he did was great, but the guys that I just named off are supremely more talented than those guys. They've accomplished just as much as well. Maybe the MVPs when you combine the ABA and the NBA, but I can't just sit here and assume that that success that Dr. J had in the ABA is going to carry over to the NBA. I'm sorry, I'm not going to sit here and do that. Dr. J and what he did for his time was phenomenal, amazing, but I just can't assume that he's going to do the same thing or replicate that because, and what is it, the 70s, I believe? I mean, you had Kareem right there. So,
10 seconds.
oh, I'm good. I ain't got nothing
Go
to
ahead,
say.
B4B.
Kareem won 4 out of his 6 MVPs while the ABA existed. If we can fully acknowledge Kareem and his accomplishment while the ABA was there, Wilt Chamberlain won an MVP while the ABA existed. There was championships won, MVPs won on the NBA's front that we fully acknowledged during that time. Let me say that again. Kareem, the guy who has 6 MVPs, the most in history, 4 of those came while the ABA was going on. Now, the ABA, I love that you brought that up, Jay, because the ABA is legit. It has a lasting legacy. There is legitimately 4 ABA teams in the NBA right now. Spurs, Pacers, Nuggets, and Nets. All 4 of those teams, ABA roots. We have things like the three-point line, the dunk contest, a fast-paced game. The game more closely resembles the ABA
10 seconds.
today than old-time NBA. And when they played head-to-head, the ABA had a better record, 79 wins to the NBA's 76.
That's it. Go ahead, Dub.
GK, this is going to be a little question there. So you got him top 10. Who the hell are you putting him over?
I've got him over Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Hakeem Olajuwon.
Never Hakeem. Never Hakeem. Dr. J isn't replicating what Hakeem has ever done in his career. I'm sorry. Dr. J needed the Moses Malone to help him out and carry him to a victory. But Hakeem Olajuwon, that little run that he did, back-to-back NBA finals, back-to-back NBA Finals MVP. No, I'm sorry. Hakeem is not making it. Bill Russell, Bill Russell, I don't like that. Wilt Chamberlain, I don't like that either. I'm cool with that. But you're not going to disrespect Hakeem Olajuwon like that. Hakeem Olajuwon was that guy, and he was going up against great competition. I'm sorry.
He needed Michael Jordan to take a break to do that, but I get what you're saying. Hakeem's legit. And even if you put Hakeem ahead of Dr. J is right there at number 10. Just so you know, I got him at number 9. I'm just saying he needs to be one of those guys that's worthy of the conversation. We want to talk about cultural impact of Dr. J, by the way. This guy, we don't have Michael Jordan without Dr. J. And talking about the eras, I want to make this point too. We talk about the 60s, Bill and Wilt both get mentioned. We talk about the 80s, Bird and Magic both get mentioned. 90s, Hakeem and Jordan both get mentioned. 2000, Shaq, Kobe, Duncan all get mentioned. LeBron, Curry, Durant all get mentioned. The 70s, it's only Kareem? No, I don't think so. Dr. J is that other dude, and because the ABA gets overshadowed as this like as if it's the Euro League, it's not. It was the professional competitive rival to the NBA, and everything that happened there was legit.
That's it. Go ahead, Dub.
Bro. When we talk about the talent level of the 70s, bro, and again, talent is very important when we're talking about these greatest of all time debates. The 70s just wasn't it. I'm sorry, bro. It was one of the weakest eras of basketball. So it's like Dr. J and what he did in his time is great. But again, when we have these debates, we're not going to change the goalposts. This isn't a greatest career debate. This is a greatest player. This is the best player. It's not on who had the better career. It's on who's just the better player, the greater player in our opinions. And it's a mix of everything. The 70s and the basketball and the fundamentals that Dr. J had, I'm sorry. like when we even compare in today's day, it's not up there in the top 10. I'm not putting him over Magic, Bird, Hakeem.
10 seconds.
Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, he's not making it up there. Top 20, cool. That's great, but he's not top 10, bro.
I'm
Nice.
not
Go
putting
ahead.
him over Magic or Bird either. So we're not getting carried away with it. He's a career 30,000 point scorer. Say what you will about the competition or whatever, but Wilt gets recognized, Kareem gets recognized. Like, these are old time players. Dr. J, we're going to just dismiss him. In the NBA alone, he played 11 seasons. He was an 11-time All-Star. He was NBA MVP. He came into the league and became the best player in the NBA. When the ABA and when the leagues merged, 4 out of the next 6 MVPs, Moses Malone winning 3 of them, came from the ABA. The legit talent was in the ABA, and then he came into the NBA. He's MVP. First year in the league, takes the team to the finals.
10 seconds.
For one year in the NBA, he's got the Philadelphia 76ers playing the finals. Like, he was that talent. He was that guy.
15 seconds, though.
I ain't got nothing to say, bro.
All right, so we'll just go to closing statements then. B4B, you get to go first.
I would just highlight the point of every accomplishment when you put them side by side. Dr. J is with those elite company guys that are worthy of the top 10 conversation. When you add his ABA accomplishments, there's no questioning that Dr. J is worthy of that status. That's all.
Okay. Dub, do you want to respond?
He's combining two, and I'm sorry, you can't do that, because at the end of the day, we don't know what he was going to do in the NBA. We just don't. So I can't just combine the ABA and the NBA and be like, assume that he's going to do the same exact thing, because we don't know. So no, I'm not doing that.
All right. Very interesting. I thought B4B made a great case. I still will have to look back at it to decide who won, though. I thought it was pretty close. All right, chat, what do you guys think? Let us know. Let us know what you thought of that round, and definitely make sure you vote on the poll. And then on to round 3. And on this one, B4B is going to open. And the round 3 question is, who was better this year, Chris Paul or James Harden? And let me just pull up my timer.
As we jump into this one, when I'm looking at both those guys, Chris Paul and James Harden, they both had a super similar season. Like, they were, James Harden was like 3rd on his team in scoring. Chris Paul was that too. They both led their team in assists. Chris Paul happened to lead the league in assists. And then both made their impact. Chris Paul defensively, though, led his team in steals. James Harden doesn't have the type of defensive impact he has. And then, so one guy, Chris Paul, is a steady leader of a team that he turned into contenders last year, kept that train rolling. His team won 64 games. James Harden couldn't make it through a season with elite talent once again by his side. Got 21 games in with Philadelphia, got to play with better players than Chris Paul, his teammates, and I'm still taking the 36-year-old Chris Paul, because James Harden is who he is.
10 seconds. Go ahead, Dub. He's done.
When we talk about the supporting cast, I think a lot of people just get caught up in names where you say, yes, James Harden played with Joel Embiid and Kevin Durant, but when we're talking about the supporting cast and the team as a whole, the Phoenix Suns were a better constructed team than the Nets and the Sixers. They had a better identity. They had better structure. So the Phoenix Suns, in my opinion, was a better supporting cast because it made it easier for CP3 to be who he is. Everybody had a role on that team, and everybody knew the role on that team. And CP3 this year, he did an excellent job of leaning on his teammates. But I believe that age is finally catching up to CP3, and I'm a CP3 fan, bro. But you can see he's not as quick as he used to be. He's not as dominant in the scoring factor as he used to be. It's harder for him to, stay in front of guys.
10 seconds.
Or James Harden, he's along the similar lines, but that was mainly due to injury. So when we look at going forward, bro, CP3 going forward, I
Time.
think the Phoenix Suns.
Like you said, the same thing for Harden going on for CP3. In fact, I think both of their deficiencies are the same, and that's what they're producing on the court. It's kind of sad that James Harden is on Chris Paul's level. So they got like a 4-year difference in age between them. Chris Paul is supposed to be in the twilight of what's going on, and you talk about that supporting cast. I give all the credit to Chris Paul for that supporting cast looking so good. Before that, last season, the Suns had not been to the playoffs in a decade. Devin Booker had never been to the playoffs. They're coming off a run to the finals with high expectations. Well, what does Chris Paul? They dealt with a ton. What does Chris Paul do? They dealt with a ton of adversity early in the season. Ayton missed games. Booker missed games. They had tons of guys in and out of the rotation. At one point, Chris Paul had suited up for 47 out of 47 games.
5
had
seconds.
10 different Suns averaging 10 points or more. Chris
That's it.
Paul is what makes all those guys look so
Go
good.
ahead, Dub.
Again, I do agree with you to the point where CP3 does a good job at getting the teammates involved, but there's more to basketball than that. I think in the role that CP3 is on the Phoenix Suns, he is more allowed to do that. But when we separate those guys from the situations, it'll be harder for CP3 to replicate that on another team. We've seen that with the Oklahoma City Thunder, but people forget he had help with that. He had a Shea, he had a Dennis Schroeder who could help take some of the ball handling responsibilities. So if we separate CP3 away from the Phoenix Suns, how good is he really? Can he really be that same type of guy to truly make the teammates around him better? Or is it the fact that the Phoenix Suns has done a tremendous job with the Devin Booker, with the Bridges and Ayton, and finding the talent like a
10
JaVale
seconds.
McGee? JaVale McGee is in the
Hey,
scrub.
cookies.
Oh, cookies.
So I don't know what you're saying there with Chris, but do we know the same Chris Paul that we're talking about? I don't want to get into Chris Paul's career because we are talking about now, but anywhere and everywhere Chris Paul has been, he's had teams set. He holds multiple records for best record that teams that he's played on. Everywhere that he went, they've improved. OKC, Shea was a rookie and he was left for dead after what had went down for Houston, and he turned them into a 5 seed. Like this best shot James Harden ever had in his career of doing anything in the playoffs and getting over the Warriors was with Chris Paul. Again, not a coincidence. So we're going to talk about the career of Chris Paul. Let's tell the truth. Chris Paul is a difference maker. And again, when we're going to talk about the shortcomings of Chris Paul, it's the exact same shortcoming for James Harden. So that's not the difference that I'm going to look for when talking about these
10
two guys.
seconds.
Oh,
Go
he's
ahead,
done.
Dub.
Again, this isn't a career thing. This is a right now thing. So and you already acknowledged that, but CP3 and what he's doing right now, its age is catching up to him. He's not as athletic. He's not as fast. He's not as physical as he used to be, and that matters. James Harden, mainly due to him struggling, was because of the injury and because he wasn't getting in shape. Honestly, we're going to be 100%. So CP3 is more of an age and him declining, while James Harden, this was more of a conditioning and an injury thing. So James Harden, he was a 22 points per game scorer. At the same time, he was averaging, like 10 assists. I don't see CP3 this year being able to, they probably do the same exact thing, but CP3 and James Harden, if I put them on their own team, I'm going to expect more out of a James Harden-led team than CP3 just due to the age factor, and that's it
10
alone.
seconds.
I'm good.
Okay.
Man, you're talking about a guy's conditioning and you want to still pick him over. I'm taking the heady veteran that improves his team, that's good for the locker room, that isn't getting traded mid-season because whatever isn't working out. So and again, you're talking about Chris Paul breaking down. James Harden is also breaking down and he's younger. So it's already in the books. Next season, do I still want to hang on to Chris Paul? I don't know. That's another question for another time. But this past year is already in the books. Chris Paul finished 3rd team All-NBA. James Harden didn't even sniff a vote. It's just
Cookies.
Okay.
That's the thing. I'm not going to let these man-made stats sit here and determine the type of player that somebody is. I'm not doing that. James Harden and CP3, I don't think CP3 even deserved to be on an All-NBA team. I'm sorry. There's a couple guys I could have put above him. But CP3 in this year, I think people are just getting so caught up in the hype of the CP3 and to overrate him to the status on, oh yeah, he's impacting the team and they're winning games mainly because of him. Because when he got hurt, they were winning games without him. They were still able to function pretty well without him. And of course, they're a better team with CP3, but that's not the point. The point is the team that the supporting cast that he is surrounded by is really like that. And we need to give those guys respect. And Devin Booker, Ayton, Bridges, they all play great, tremendous team basketball. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, CP3
10 seconds.
is the main deciding factor of all of that. No, that's not true.
And I disagree with you there. You're talking about all these great things that this team is. Like I said, 10 years hadn't been to the playoffs. Chris Paul shows up, they're making a run to the finals. And the reason they could withstand Chris Paul going down at this point in the year is because they were a year and a half in to what they'd already established. So these guys stepping up, you don't think Chris Paul's on the sideline with the clipboard? You don't think he's involved in practice? You don't think he's given Devin Booker confidence to take that step? A lot of these guys took that step. And I point to Chris Paul as like, hey, you showed up and all these guys took a big step forward. How about that?
Awesome. That's the end of the round, guys. So now we're going to get closing statements. You each get one last chance. So who started this one?
Wait, was this for is this the James Harden one or for everything all together?
For the James Harden one. So B4B, didn't you open? You opened this one, right? So you go second. All right. So yeah, so Dub, so let's just make sure we remember the question. Who had a better year, Chris Paul or James Harden? Let us know why. You got 60 seconds. Go ahead, Dub.
Oh yeah, see, James Harden was a 22 points per game scorer. He was also one of the top leading assist men in the league. Him and Kevin Durant and what they did in really taking the Brooklyn Nets and making them one of the best teams in the league. But then all of that chemistry issues happened and he just went to Philly. I think that's the main reason why James Harden is better than CP3, because he had to deal with more of an infrastructure than CP3.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
B4B.
and CP3 is the guy that I think makes everything click in Phoenix. He wasn't one of the leading assist makers. He was the leading assist leader in the NBA this year. So he's still delivering on that end, led his team in steals, and followed up the finals run by setting a record-setting 64 wins for that Phoenix Suns team. I'm taking Chris Paul's year over James Harden, who was borderline dysfunctional and ended up getting traded because that was just how they had to go.
Awesome. All right, guys, that's gonna do it. So chat, looks like most of you feel one way, but let us know in the poll. Troy's gonna put a poll up in the chat. I'm gonna bring the judges out and see if they have any comments or what they thought. First, we'll start with Melvin. Troy, you want to put Melvin up?
Yeah, good battle overall, guys. I like some of the stuff I heard. No cookies are audible in round 2, so I thought that was pretty interesting with especially you guys going back and forth on Dr. J. But it was really close, so definitely got to look at the notes and see where we're at.
Troy, what'd you think?
I think it was a good battle. Yeah, I also got to look at my notes. I got 3 pages of them over here. I think you both made some good points. You played the game well. Like Melvin, I was sad not to see cookies. No Omahas either. Nobody extended their rounds either. I guess you guys didn't need the time limit. But yeah, great battle, and I'll send my results over soon.
Yeah, I see some of the chat has a sweep, but I have 2-1. I won't say in favor of who yet, but I have the score 2 rounds to 1. And then I'm just gonna wait for the judges to text me what their scores is. How'd you guys feel? Is it your first time? What'd you guys think of
I appreciate you, Deb. You're so good to go ahead. I'll knick-knack at you anytime, Deb. I appreciate you, man.
I love B-ball. I really do. It's always a pleasure, my guy.
Yeah, I hope you guys had fun. But yeah, no, you guys did well. I think you guys played the game pretty well.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, bro. My whole throat is killing me, bro. Pause. Ain't nobody gonna pause that. Damn.
All right. So we have a unanimous decision, and starting off his career in the Fade Room 1-0. We got Basketball for Brains. Go ahead. Is there anything you like to say?
Well, I don't know. It feels good to get a win. You know, that's always nice to come in and get. So, no, I think we hit some impasses there with me and Dub as far as just there's points when you got to understand what the other person is saying, whether you agree with them or not. Those are my favorite conversations. I think we had a lot of that going on. So whether you agree or disagree with me, I just want to make sure that my points have solid footing and I'm coming from a decent side. So remember, guys, you can always find me on TikTok at Basketball for Brains. I'm always around.
Dub, anything you want to say? You think it was controversial? How you feeling?
Nah, bro, it's cool, bro. GG's.
GG's. Awesome. And
You coming back? Y'all coming back?
Yeah, love to have both of you guys back to either have a rematch or to battle whoever else you want. Dub, I know we could get in some football questions too. So
Whatever, bro. I'm down.
all right, sounds good. All right, guys. Well, that's gonna do it. So for Troy, Melvin, myself, Dub, and Basketball for Brains,